Hey guys, and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We're going to continue with some Drake talk. Last time I talked a little bit about Drake and the Caterpillar, and today I wanted to talk about the Drake Herald. So what is it, and how has this ship evolved, and why am I talking about it? Well, it's kind of the Drake golden age for development at the moment, and there's been some quite substantial changes, especially recently, to the way the Herald looks, and maybe not so much its role, but it's certainly evolved in its role, and it's quite possibly going to be the next ship we see hangar ready. That's what I feel in my gut anyway, and from the amount we've seen of it from CIG over some of their shows recently, I'd expect that's pretty accurate. So what is it? It's a 1 to 2 crew Inforunner. The Drake Herald comes equipped with advanced encryption software, armoured computer core, a redundant power subsystem, EMP shielding, and high power broadcast array. And that broadcast array has changed in the way it looks somewhat, but we'll talk about it visually in a minute. The Drake Herald is a small armoured ship designed to safely get from A to B, featuring a powerful central engine system, so it's two really big TR3 engines there, advanced encryption software, that armoured core, and it's going to be unique among personal spacecraft in the fact that it's designed to be cleaned when in danger of capture. So you can literally purge the cores is the idea there if you've got some important information which you can't let fall into enemy hands. The Herald now especially is compact but spacious. Now let me explain that. It's quite cozy, but there's a lot going on inside it. At its core, it's little more than a seat, a bunk, shower, kitchen, advanced electronics suite, and two huge engines as well as that cockpit. So the Heralds are sold for purpose of sensitive data transmission, but they have modularity here, and they can support various hardpoints for different purposes. So the Herald is going to be able to keep up with racing ships. It's going to have really fast in straight lines, but its maneuverability is going to be low compared to dedicated racers. But with the right modifications and that sort of stuff, you might be able to win some races. The Herald, though, feels quite a unique but at the same time quite diverse and wide role in the verse, so its concept has stayed pretty similar as an Inforunner, maybe evolved a bit more, we've learned a bit more about it, but they're still working out the gameplay mechanics behind that shit. But we're going to talk about it visually now. So, as I said, we're in the golden age of Drake, as it were, in the form of ship development. And let's talk about the external changes to the ship. So, it was originally concepted to be an asymmetrical ship, but they've decided for a much more symmetrical look now. And it's still quite similar to its concept, but it's got those 4 satellite array panels that open up now, and it looks much more simplistic, as it were. It's very much more Drake to me. The ship's got 5 to 10% wider to accommodate its internals. The nose is a lot less needle-like now, and it's more curved. It has larger landing gear for its size now, and it's had loads and loads of poly detail and refinement work done to it. It's also had those size 1 missiles upgraded to size 2 missiles around it, and there's gun mounts now appearing under the wings as well as the nose. Internally, it's kind of a one-seater craft. It has a pilot's chair, but it also has an operations console in the centre, so the ship can accommodate 2 crew, so it can be run by 2 people maximum, really. There's a lot of access to all the components internally, as with Drake, they're very exposed on show. There's a bed, shower, toilet, and kitchen, as well as the cockpit and operations console, but the pilot's chair will slide out and spin for easy access too. They've made it a lot more functional inside because obviously there was a lot to fit into its quite small size. Now, it was originally on sale for $85 excluding taxes, and it's very likely to come on sale when it's hangar ready again, which is pretty soon in my opinion. As I said, my prediction is for it to be in 2.5, so in this month of June, hopefully. That's what I would expect as a gut feeling, but don't quote me. So let's talk about its roles and uses and how some of its mission kind of options might have changed and what you might be using it for in the verse now. So obviously Inforunner, it's kind of pegged as that. You're going to be taking important data from A to B. This could be delivering something effectively by hand on a data drive, or broadcasting it from your array, or intercepting a transmission. So info missions might be quite involved. Once you've found out something, you might get like a hint to another mission. You might not necessarily be on a mission when you've been intercepting data, but it might lead to some emergent gameplay, to some hidden missions. And also, when you're doing like a interception mission, when you're intercepting some data, a company's bought you to grab some other data from 2 ships that are passing by, you might get found out. You might have someone see you're doing that, and you're going to have to get away quickly at high speed. You might be using it to spy as well. You'd send a herald out, it takes some pictures, spies on some data, and then bugs out fast. So you might be using this to capture all the data and then bring it back to your command ship so that you know that where you're going to be attacking at enemy position. If you're a merchant and you see a herald turn up, for example, then you might want to run away if it disappears soon after that. You might at least man your turrets. So yeah, there's the spying aspect and the like kind of scouting aspect of that herald, but also the E-war, both defensive and offensively. You're going to be wanting to overhear voice comms, and that's one of the whole points of electronic warfare and things behind like the Sentinel. You're going to be able to intercept communications, you're going to be able to block communications hopefully as well, and that info running, yeah, not just for finding out exactly what's going on, but how stuff is working. You might want to disrupt, snoop, intercept, or even plant false data with the herald. I mean, some crazy people might purposely get the herald captured with false data on board. If that's a thing in the game, I hope it is. That would be amazing. It could even have the role of counter e-warfare as well, trying to boost signals through others trying to dampen them. I would also expect things like suppression and interdiction, being able to block signals, block quantum drives as modules or something similar. We've obviously talked about racing a minute ago. It might be able to be quite a decent racer with the right modifications. And I'd also expect there to be possibly tracking and detection modules so that you could detect different signals, possibly help prevent certain things from happening. So prevent EMPs going off and that sort of stuff. That's probably more e-warfare, but there's a lot of possibility here with the Herald, and that's what excites me. They haven't entirely fleshed out exactly what they want from the Herald and exactly what they want from all of the e-warfare, spying, communications, and this kind of gameplay, and it's quite important that people get their opinions in. So please tell me what you think gameplay options should be for the Herald. I'm interested. Maybe we can have a little bit of a dialogue here and get some ideas to CIG as well. I'm loving the way that the kind of have evolved the Herald. I mean, everyone's still calling it an ugly duckling. I think it looks quite cool now, and I think it's nice and simple. It's very Drake to me. But anyway, guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I know this is me ranting about Drake and the Herald, and not really giving too much information, but, I mean, I like to talk about stuff enthusiastically sometimes, without much of a point other than, I'm excited about ships and a gameplay and that sort of thing. I'm not sure why I did a silly voice there. Also, throughout the entire month of June, you can win a MISC, not a MISC, a Drake ship, a Drake Buccaneer. That's the one. Pew pew pew. Pirate Interceptor ship. All you got to do is comment on any of our Star Citizen content to be in for a chance of winning that, and the winner will be chosen at the end of the month. You don't even need to be subscribed to that. It's just a way of saying thank you for watching. And yes, thanks so much, guys. You guys are awesome, and I will see you in the verse.